What's up everyone, welcome back to another step of One Step Closer, the series of mental health on this new YouTube channel. Sorry I have not posted in a while, it's been a while since I filmed a video, so I'm glad to be back filming another video. And today we're going to be talking about what you should do if you're struggling with mental illness for the first time. If you're struggling with mental illness, there's obviously going to be a first time where it finally hits you and you realize that you're struggling with anxiety or depression or OCD or PTSD or something like that. And it's really daunting and it's a really scary thing to kind of think about because it's like, oh, I never thought this would happen to me. Why is this happening to me? You know, what did I do? Like, how do I fix this? What is going on? And it's a really scary time, and I know for me personally, when I started dealing with depression and anxiety for the first time, I got really scared. I had no idea what was happening. I thought I was losing my mind. I also wasn't sure what to do. I didn't know how to get help. I didn't know who to tell. So it's a really scary time, but I think it's also a time where if you know what you're doing, you can definitely get through it pretty well. So yeah, this video is basically to talk about what some steps that you should do if you're struggling with the mental illness for the first time. Remember, as a disclaimer, I'm not a professional in any way. I'm just a 19-year-old student who has dealt with mental illness for a while, and this is basically just a channel to raise awareness. I'm not a professional in any way. So if you're dealing with a mental illness, say anxiety, and all of a sudden you've noticed that you have a lot more anxiety attacks more often, and you're not sure what's happening, you're not sure what you're doing or how this happened, one thing you should obviously do is kind of research into what you're feeling. I mean, the internet is full of helpful resources, helpful websites that you can look up and kind of see what other people have to say about certain mental illnesses and see what you're kind of dealing with. I think this is a big step because sometimes if you go into it blindly, then you're not sure what to do or who to talk to or what to ask about. So I think if you were to kind of do your own research and like learn about it a little bit, I mean, that might help you. The second tip is probably the biggest thing that I would recommend, and that is to talk to someone. The thing about mental illness is that if you go without talking to someone about certain things, it can be very scary and you feel like you're bottling up all your emotions inside, and it's a very hard time. So if you have someone that you can trust, whether that's a parent, a sibling, a teacher, a counselor, anyone, even a friend, honestly, you should talk to them. Talk to someone you trust, tell them what you're feeling, tell them what you're going through. I mean, maybe they might not be able to help make it go away, but at least you're talking to someone and you're letting go of some emotions that you might feel. So I would definitely recommend talking to someone because that will help a ton. So once you've figured out like what you're kind of going through, and maybe once you've talked to someone and kind of explained your feelings and emotions, a very important thing to do is to actually get help. And this is a huge thing because as nice as it is to talk to someone, if you want to really nip this thing in the bud, you really want to get help somehow. And so I would recommend, if you're in high school, teachers are a really invaluable asset because they are used to dealing with people and helping people out. So I would recommend you talk to a teacher, and if you can't talk to a teacher, talk to your parents or talk to a professional, a therapist or a counselor of any way. I would highly recommend talking to a counselor or a therapist the most because they're professionals, they actually know what they're doing, they actually know what you're talking about, and they can help you the most. It is very scary to talk to someone for the first time because you're not sure, oh, I don't know if I can trust this person, what if they think I'm crazy? There's just a lot of thoughts that go into your head when you're doing this, but it's a really important step when you're dealing with mental illness to basically talk to a professional because they can assess the situation the best and then get you the best help, whether that's through medication or more therapy or different types of therapy in general. One thing that's very important is that you should not be scared when this is happening. Mental illness is very common in a lot of people, and it's not something you should be scared about. Yes, it can be life-changing and it can make a lot of things harder, but it should also be something that you shouldn't be scared about because it is normal. People like you are dealing with this all over the world, and if you feel like you have anxiety, depression, or any mental illness, do not be scared. Talk to someone because that's really gonna help. It is completely normal. You're not going crazy. Don't worry. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a really short video, but it's just a little, this is my 2 cents on what you should do if you are dealing with mental illness for the first time. Remember, I'm not a professional. I do think that talking to someone is the most important thing you can do. So please keep this in mind. If you guys like this video, please share it. And remember, take it one step at a time. You are important, and I'll see you guys later.